Welcome, everyone, to an ongoing series of estate planning, business planning, real estate, investing, trying to make sure that you and your family is moving forward in life, protecting yourself, protecting your wealth, and ensuring that your wealth is passed on from the next one generation to the next. I am Marlon Brammer, your host from the Brammer Firm, and this is a service of the Brammer Firm that we'll be providing for you, your family, your business, so that you are constantly protected and moving forward successfully in whatever endeavor you're proposing to do. Now, if I do my job right, you follow the steps that I provide, you should be protected and you should find some success in your life. So today we're actually going to be talking about something that's very interesting. It's actually one of the most basic processes that you should go through when you're trying to protect your wealth is in with regard to a will. So we're going to talk with the one of the most basic wills that's out there. So we're going to talk about what we call is a holographic will, right? So what is a holographic will, and is it even legal in certain jurisdictions? So we're going to try to tackle those questions and give you some answers for them. All right. So most people don't think that they have to create a will, right? However, waiting until the last minute can result in not having an end of life security or strategy. So even worse, it could force you to try cutting corners and make you think you are prepared when you really aren't. One such manner of cutting corners is not using an attorney and trying to write your own will. And generally, when you write your own will, this is called what we call a holographic will, right? So, unfortunately, many states don't recognize these types of wills and will most likely deny any wishes that are listed within them. Instead, the court will follow the rules of the state regarding how your estate will be divided up, which may or may not be what you wanted at all. Even if your state does accept the holographic will, they often create bigger headaches for your family to deal with when you're gone. And that's why it's essential to clear up the misunderstanding before this type of will is actually created. So, what complications might arise from a holographic will, you might ask? So, most states, one, won't recognize holographic wills under any circumstances, even if they were executed in a country or state that does recognize them as valid. So, let's say you went to a state or a country that actually recognize it. Because you live in a state that doesn't carry weight. So, since the holographic will is generally not witnessed or notarized, the states do not want you to take the risk of following it, right? So, this opens the door for fake wills to be admitted to probate, which might benefit certain beneficiaries and cause fraud on the court. So, the court here is just trying to discourage you from having a written will done by your hand, so that you are essentially protected by ensuring that you use the necessary protocols that the state would provide. So, although initially it seems like a much simpler way of making a will, especially when it's needed real quickly and it comes with many complications. So, in states where the family can try to admit the will into the court, the judge may have difficulty reading the handwriting of the person who wrote it. So that's another issue. In addition, the court may need to bring in witnesses who can testify that they knew the individual who wrote the will and what they can verify that the writing and who it belonged to and the person that the writing belonged to. So there's usually no one that can attest to the individual's mental state or intent when the will was written, which allows these wills to be easily challenged by other beneficiaries. So, how do you create a valid will? Now that we realize that a holographic will, it may or may not be legal depending on your jurisdiction, right? But there's just way too many complications with a holographic will. So, what do we do, and how do we create a valid will? It's simple. If you're looking to have a valid will created, a general rule is that in most states require the following. Now, this is general. There are certain specific ways about going about it in your state, but this is just in general. The individual must be at least 18 years old or be an emancipated minor, right? So if they don't live with their parents, that there has to be an emancipated minor, or 18 years of age. They must be of sound mind, meaning you must be able to understand the extent and nature of the property the will covers and who will inherit your property. The will must be signed in the presence of two competent witnesses. And you must be signed the will on your own and own volition. So it can't be done under coercion. It needs to be done under your own volition. The witness must sign the will in your presence and in the presence of each other, right? So it has to be done reciprocating, meaning the witnesses sign as well as the person signs the will at the same time. So keep in mind that many states also require the witnesses' signatures to be notarized, as in the state of Florida, right? So the witnesses may not be allowed to be recipients of any property listed in the will. So I can't be a witness to a will that I'm actually going to be benefiting from, right? So how can I get help creating a legally binding will? So when it comes to creating a will, you can save yourself and your loved ones a lot of confusion and time by working with an experienced estate planning attorney. Not only can they ensure that your documents are prepared correctly, but they can also make sure that they follow the state guidelines and meet your specific needs and desires, right? We are licensed in the state of Florida. So if you're in the state of Florida and you need help creating your will, please do so. Reach out to us. We cover the entire state of Florida, and we can actually either meet you at your location or we'll actually do a virtual meeting, right? So if you have any questions, let us know. Leave some comments. Reach out to us if you have any questions, and look out for the next one that's coming. We're going to be doing a series of these videos just to kind of give you some education about how do you go about protecting yourself, your family, your business, and how do you go about growing your wealth and ensuring that you're passing on your wealth to the right people at the right time. All right. You have a blessed one, and I'll see you on the next one.